Cricket and Danny's young and restless wedding might include one uninvited guest. Weddings in Genoa City are never quiet affairs, and Cricket and Danny's big day is already shaping up to be anything but calm on the young and the restless. Fans have watched these two slowly rebuild a connection that's been a long time in the making, finally getting back to the love story that once slipped through their hands. But of course, an old chapter from their past is bubbling back up, and it might crash the wedding. Phyllis might crash Cricket and Danny's wedding on the young and the restless. If there's anyone who can change a calm moment into a full-scale soap opera explosion, it's Phyllis Summers. The couple is finally fixing the wrong that Phyllis caused years ago, back when she tricked Danny into believing he was Daniel's father. So the idea of her crashing this moment and taking another emotional swing at them is definitely hanging over the big day. Even Michelle Stafford, who plays Phyllis, hinted at the storm ahead on Instagram, joking, "I'm not sure Phyllis is though." Earlier this year, Cricket pulled Daniel aside and begged him to keep his mother from causing trouble again. But it has always proven to be in vain. She already proved that when she randomly crashed both Danny's bachelor party and Cricket's bachelorette night. Sure, she apologized afterward, but decades of jealousy, rivalry, and bad blood between her and Christine don't disappear with one sorry. Cricket still can't forget those old scars, and Phyllis knows how to poke them. Phyllis's obsession has pushed her to do very strange things. This includes the night she rented a car and ran down Christine and Paul right before their wedding. Even though years have passed and everyone's tried to move on, the scars are still there. This is why the thought of Phyllis arriving at Cricket and Danny's wedding has everyone worried. If Genoa City has taught us one thing, it is that people rarely change. The morning sun arrived shyly over Genoa City, as if even the sky understood the weight of the day. Under the pale gold of dawn, soft winds swept across the Abbott Estate gardens, transformed overnight into the shimmering, romantic setting for what many were already calling the most anticipated reunion wedding in decades. Cricket Christine Blair stared at her reflection in the tall French mirror inside the guest suite. The gown she wore, delicate, pearl-stitched lace and a soft train that caught the light, felt like a quiet miracle. She had lived enough love, enough hurt, enough healing to understand that this ceremony was more than a celebration. It was an understanding, a promise, a reunion of two lives once tangled by fate and distance. And by music. Danny had always been the melody in her life, the one that echoed even in silence. A gentle knock sounded at the door. "Come in," she said, smoothing her gown. Nina poked her head in, her expression brimming with excitement and emotion. "Cricket, you are breathtaking. Danny's going to lose all sense of speech when he sees you, though for a rock star, maybe that's a good thing." Cricket laughed, the playful jab easing the flutter in her chest. "Do I look like me?" "You look like the version of you that always belonged beside him." Cricket's heart trembled. "I hope so." "You know so," Nina said, walking closer and adjusting a curl that had dared to rebel near Cricket's cheek. "Today is going to be perfect." Cricket nodded, believing it, or trying to, because in the back of her mind, a quiet, persistent thought whispered, "Nothing in Genoa City stays perfect for long." Across town, Danny's nerves and a hint of trouble. Danny Romalotti tugged lightly on the collar of his tuxedo as Daniel helped straighten the bow tie. "You sure you don't want to run?" Daniel teased as he adjusted the silk. Danny shot him a mock glare. "You realize your father is the picture of calm, right? You're vibrating, Dad. Like you downed 2 espressos and a Red Bull." Danny chuckled softly. "Fine. A little nervous. But it's a good nervous. Like walking on stage for the biggest concert of your life, knowing the crowd is full of people who loved you through every stage, every headline, every screw-up." Daniel clapped his father's shoulder. "Then you already know you've got the best partner for the duet." Danny's nerves softened with gratitude. "I appreciate that, son." Across the room, Phyllis passed by, paused, and folded her arms. Well, she said lightly. "Look at you, Danny, a groom again. Guess some people believe in recycling." Daniel winced. "Mom, not today." Phyllis waved him off with exaggerated innocence. "Relax, I'm just making conversation. Besides, I am happy for you, Danny. Really. Shocked, but happy." Danny stared at her, searching for sincerity. Phyllis had a knack for inserting herself in moments she didn't belong. But she'd sworn, repeatedly, that she had no intention of causing trouble today. "Thanks, Phyllis," Danny said cautiously. "Just don't expect me to cry happy tears. That's Nina's job." And she walked off. Daniel sighed. "She swears she won't cause drama." Danny raised a brow. Phyllis with no drama? Might as well expect a concert without music. They shared a laugh, but Danny's nerves tightened again, not because of Phyllis. Something felt off. Something he couldn't name. Something in the air today felt like the prelude to a storm. At the venue, a garden full of hope. The Abbott Gardens had never looked more enchanted. Ivory rose arrangements lined the aisle, crystal lanterns hung from oak branches, a soft string quartet played near the blooming hydrangeas. Guests arrived in clusters, whispering excitedly about the long-awaited reunion of two of Genoa City's most enduring hearts. Tracy Abbott oversaw the entire production like a benevolent orchestra conductor, ensuring every detail sang in harmony. Jack greeted guests warmly, while Abby flitted around making sure no one tripped over camera cables or spilled champagne near the altar. There was a hum, a buzz, an energy, romantic, hopeful, cinematic. Nothing seemed amiss. Nothing except the woman lurking near the estate's side gate, face half hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. She held an invitation. A fake one. Her hand trembled slightly as she read it again. "Danny Romalotti and Christine Blair request the honor of your presence." The words blurred for a moment. She inhaled slowly, her heart pounding. "I shouldn't be here," she whispered to herself. But she didn't leave. Because the truth was simple. The uninvited guest had come for a reason. Cricket's moment of truth. Cricket stood near the French doors leading into the garden. The soft music, muffled by the walls, drifted through as she took one final breath. "Ready?" Nina asked. Cricket nodded. "You're sure?" "Yes." But Nina, lifelong friend and emotional detective, caught the flicker in her eyes. "You're thinking about the past," she said. "A little," Cricket admitted. "Danny and we've had ghosts. And some of them still walk around Genoa City." "You're stronger than ghosts," Nina said. "And anyone who isn't invited will stay exactly where they belong out." Cricket smiled, comforted. Except she couldn't shake the sensation that someone out there, someone she hadn't accounted for, was already on her way inside. The ceremony, Love in Bloom. Guests settled in. The quartet shifted to the first strands of the processional. Daniel walked down the aisle, standing proudly beside the officiant. Danny inhaled sharply as the music changed.